Mr. Whiskers. Yes, he has whiskers, all right. Darn big whiskers, too. One day when he was younger and he'd already grown accustomed to wearing a large, profound mustache, he heard a little child say to his parent, "Look, that man has whiskers." And after that, folks just, kind of called him Mr. Whiskers. He has a gleam in his eye and a warm, transcendental smile that makes one feel like Mr. Whiskers was smiling at you, down deep into your soul. Even if you were many, many years his senior, you felt it. Your child within you felt that smile. Nah, it wasn't witchcraft, not some dark art or mesmerization, not any conscious mind manipulation at all on Mr. Whisker's part. It was just that he was so, so very down to earth. And that meaning seems so trivial, though, thinking of Mr. Whiskers now. Mr. Whiskers would often, when coming into a room in a party or social setting, always spend a bit of time observing, not talking to anyone, just engaging no one in either conversation or darts or games of any kind. He just watched. Mr. Whiskers would often sit and just watch the people interact and talk and laugh and shout and joke. And he'd watch them get their drinks or spill their drinks or argue. And he just watched. You might think that it isn't nice to sit and watch and observe people saying it's not nice to judge other people. Yep, you would say that, pal. Many folks would. But you see, Mr. Whiskers always thinks of that idea of observing different, like two different views on a witness stand from two people who saw the same exact event take place. Both of them told the story of the incidental criminal activity from inside the world they were living in during the incident. You following me here? Well, Mr. Whiskers told me once something that went kind of like this. If I was going fishing, I'd do my research. If I was going mountain climbing, I'd do my research. If I was going to the beach for the day with my family, I'd do my research. So each decision I make in my life, in fishing, climbing a mountain, or to the beach with my family, I want to do my research for the best results in my life. Now, when it comes to people, they're the most inconsistent things on the planet. Fish generally do fish things. A mountain has its crevices, rocks, and the weather itself, which is a major factor. Go to the beach. Now, if we're going to the beach, we think of the tide times, busy times, construction, and weather. Now, in a party or social setting, we have the most inconsistent thing on earth, right? Humans. Anyone in sales or human resources are told they must judge the person. We all do it. So get over it. Did you see a homeless person today panhandling somewhere? You did? So you judge that person was homeless then? Yeah? Huh? Enough said. Now, when you go driving, you judge by the car, the way someone drives, what they're wearing. Well, while they're driving, you can even see that while they're driving. So I want to take a fair amount of time just sitting, sipping a soda, tea, or whatever, doing a little undercover work so maybe I won't get burned when I go into a crowd. Now, listen, people love to talk about themselves. And it's when it's busy and they're drinking alcohol, they talk louder. If they're not talking about themselves, they're usually putting someone else down. Oh, what a dirtbag so and so is at work. That lady, you both know, the kid and what he did ad infinitum, ad infinitum. And when someone talks someone down, this brings them up a notch in the listener's mind. At least that's what their subconscious tells them as they spout. Well, then there are the story matchers. They may or may not let someone finish talking when interrupting with a better story of a similar subject. You can hear someone talk in a public place and watch them be themselves. It is a small time to invest to watch so very fake smiles, the eye rolls, the behind the back facial expressions, and genuine interest too, besides. You can tell a serious, genuine discussion of a topic from one ruled by talks a lot who knows all and has made up his mind if given a chance he could fix the world. They think they could fix the world greatly. And right here tonight, you can hear the love a person has when talking of their children or their grandchildren, the love someone has for a spouse, a significant other, or their passion for a hobby, biking, hiking, fishing, and so forth. You can hear the hate a person has talking about politics, religion, someone else that isn't there, including their spouse or their children. Love talk, hate talk, it all comes out here. Nowadays, it's smartphones, smartphone lookups, web surfing, texting while talking. Yep, in the middle of a conversation, folks will look up things on the internet, check emails, text, and so forth in the middle of conversing with each other. So no one really notices Mr. Whiskers much. I mean, they may notice me, but they don't pay much attention. Yeah, I see it like this. Most folks walk up to a table with others, and some just listen in for a while and maybe be greeted and ask questions. This is where most folks get steered into conversing at the table level. Leading questions from one or two of those already there usually asked, and often it deals with what they're already covering at their table. A confident person can shorten or lengthen their answer so as to come along into their subject and dive right in. However, some with intent and predetermined minds can grab the reins, so to speak, and change directions. Using tact and reason is a must to go ahead in this way. So, those that have that skill get a little, sometimes very little exercise in changing subject. Knowing your purpose for this gathering helps heaps in getting your socialization session. Yeah, let's say that faster time. Socialization session brought to the task of harvesting what you need from the event. If you were in a group of model railroad builders, you'd want to stay in that vein of talk. A group of actors, filmmakers, and such, you'd try to stay on that business matter. You could learn a lot from someone that tells stories or gives explanations for intelligent questions pertaining to the social event subject, or by not guiding the conversation correctly, you may learn how great a golfer they are, or how they hate changing diapers, or even learn that they are expanding their ego pertaining to the subject of this social meeting by filling you with their self promoting stories. We've all experienced that, right? Sometimes when I go to a social group meeting, I see people networking, getting their face, their name, their deeds out there, gathering contact information, and so forth. Then they move on to the next table or group of people and repeat. This isn't too bad, since that is at least a goal oriented socialization. I like to take forever because I'm not shallow. I'm Mr. Whiskers. And I have to get to know you before I share a lot. So I'll just listen, be amiable, and let the others open up. Did you know that a cat uses its whiskers to gauge whether they can fit their entire body through an opening? Mr. Whiskers likes to use his listeners like a cat uses its whiskers. Listeners are ears, in case you don't know. We have two ears to listen, huh? One mouth to talk. So I try to listen more than I talk. I'm Mr. Whiskers.